Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2Mnet podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling. You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
Hello and welcome to another Video Games to the Max. This is episode 229, and I'm your host, Sean Garmer, and here with me, as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
And, well, we are the official video games podcast of W2Mnet.com, and, of course, we are in partnership with Last Word on Life as well, and, well, it's another week in the world, and Marc, you're having to stay behind closed doors for another few weeks.
Yeah, our governor just extended the deadline to like June 12th, so I'm real happy I got a haircut last week.
I'm sure that'll be well received by all the people that are already protesting.
It's gonna go great.
Well, I mean, in my state, they're already hoping there's a phase 2 and things like that. We'll see. I think I was listening to more stuff about, how it spreads or whatever, and they were saying that call centers are like one of the worst environments because not only can't wear a mask, but you're speaking very loud, which makes it to where you're going to be flowing droplets everywhere. So
yeah.
I was like, well, that makes sense why we probably won't be going back for a while, which again is good for me. It saves me a lot of money, so.
Yep, that's always nice.
I might literally have to think about finding another job if they do make us go back to because it was starting to get to the point where I was having to worry about whether my car was gonna make it each week because it was giving me too many issues. So yeah, but hey, enough of that stuff. You guys hear about that stuff all day, every day. So video games. Marc, I haven't really gotten to play much. I'm kind of just trying to write my reviews I have in the backlog and just get ready for Xenoblade next week, and still thinking about whether I want to ask for Shantae or not.
I pre-ordered Xenoblade pretty late. I got that collector's edition, or that one with the book. But Amazon was like, your order is going to be delivered June 12th, and I'm like,
oh jeez,
isn't that game due out next week? What the hell? I'm thinking about canceling that order and just going to picking up at a GameStop if I can, or maybe Best Buy. It's holy Christ.
Yeah, it might just because it's a collector's edition.
Yeah.
And if you would have just got the regular game, you'd have been alright.
Right. But
yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting for that game to come out so it can fill me up for about a month, probably. It's going to take I don't know how long it's going to take me to beat that game.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know about you. I'm playing Snowrunner still.
I don't think I haven't touched Snowrunner again at all. So.
You and Jens' favorite game.
Yeah. Is Jens played it anymore with you, or?
No, he really detested it. It's just fun to force him to play it though. What else? Oh, I picked up Castlevania Aria of Sorrow for the GBA. That's a pretty good Castlevania game.
Yes, it is. The GBA ones were pretty awesome. So.
I know there's 3. There's Circle of the Moon, which I have, but I've yet to start up yet. Harmony of Dissonance, and then Aria of Sorrow. I think Aria is supposed to be the best one. It's funny, the Selma Cruz has a really funny walking animation. Where it looks like he's punching. It looks like he's like the Terminator. He's punching his arms when he walks. This is weird. Isn't this guy supposed to be high school student?
So what do you like about it particularly, compared to the other ones, or?
Good map. I mean, it's very reminiscent of Symphony of the Night. Certain locations are almost exactly the same. I mean, it's different, but it's hey, there's the library, or hey, there's the catacombs and stuff like that. The soul system is interesting. You have 3 souls. One's kind of attack, one is utility, and one is passive. I just I I like Metroidvania games like my favorite genre, so that's a good one to play through, especially on a TV.
Definitely. It'll probably make you want to play the other ones at some point. So.
Well, I have Circle the Moon. I know that one. It's pretty. It's thought of well, but like I remember like people saying it was too dark on the GBA, and I'm like, well, hopefully I don't have that problem on a TV. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would. You could adjust the brightness a lot more because the GBA, unless you got the backlight for it, that was a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know. Hold on.
No, I remember playing. I loved having that system, but it was just like, yeah, if you didn't play that in a well-lit room, there was issues.
You should have got the Game Boy Light, the Game Boy Japanese model that had a backlit built into it.
I eventually got the SP.
I got that too. I mean, that was like kind of my last big handheld.
Oh, really? Oh, you never had a DS or a 3DS?
No, I mean I had a PSP and I got a Vita, but I got them way late in their life cycles, respectively. So like I didn't like play them much at all. I've never touched a DS or 3DS actually. I don't think the 3DS would actually work for my pretty bad eyes, so that probably wouldn't work. But I'm curious to try it. What else? I bought a few games. GameStop's having a sale this week, so I picked up some stuff for order, which I'll get here like next week, hopefully.
What did you pick up?
Kirby Superstar Allies.
I've heard that game is fun with other people.
Yeah, I like Kirby games. I mean, just in general.
Yeah,
so
I love Kirby games too. I just keep forgetting to pick that one up.
I know, I think the common complaint is like, oh, it's too easy. But I'm like,
right.
Yeah, it's a Kirby game. Like, they're all really easy. Like, it's not like pixel perfect platforming like a Mario game, or it's not like super hard combat. Like, it's a Kirby game. Like,
yeah, but it's nice because like it's also like a little like relaxing and
yeah, it's non-stressful.
And you can like pick the things you want to turn him into and stuff like that. So
yeah, I picked up Astral Chain. I've been curious about that for a while.
Definitely awesome.
And I picked up the Vanquish and Bayonetta 1 bundle for PS4.
Can't go wrong with that. Two great games right there.
Well, yeah, especially it was free, so that was better.
Although I still need to play Vanquish. I have not.
Did you play a second one, or just none at all?
No, I never played Vanquish. I played Bayonetta, but not Vanquish.
I remember. Yeah, I mean they're both good games. I think I probably prefer Vanquish more personally.
Oh, really? What makes you prefer it more than the?
I think the gameplay, like I like shooters more than like Devil May Cry style action games, or those types of games. Like I like some of them, but not all of them. And it's funny because I have Bayonetta 2 for Switch and I've barely played it. This is kind of a waste. Like,
yeah.
So I think that's about it for me. Like, I think there was like one other thing, like maybe on the played a few more like Sega Genesis games just because hell, why not? Yeah, I got nothing. Like, I'm still trying to write that Persona 4 or Persona 5 review.
Yeah, I mean that'll take a little while, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I know Adam sent out an email for Maneater.
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken it, but I don't have the console, so.
I thought about it and I was like, no, because I know what's gonna happen. Xenoblade's gonna come out and that thing's gonna go right in the, I'm not playing that for a while.
Yeah.
And so I'll just,
I think there's
touch it.
Yeah, I think there's a few things on like the Oculus Quest I need to get into, but.
Yeah, I heard there was some other games that just came to it, or?
Yeah, I mean, stuff's always trickling out to it a little, but they made a room game for it, and I'm kind of curious about that. Yep.
I'm sure that will be striking your fancy soon. Yeah, this is the
boring part.
Like big. Yeah, I mean, next week is the I guess big week of this month.
Yeah.
So that's when we'll have some games to discuss at that point. Even though even some older stuff that Marc has already played, all those things that are coming to the Switch.
Yep. So I'm sure it'll be a lot like, oh, it's fine if you need it to go on the portable on the go, but it still doesn't look as good as a PS3 or Xbox 360 version.
Right. Yeah, I mean that Saints Row. I saw pictures of it. The Saints Row remaster. Saints Row the Third remasters, man, it looks good.
Well, that's because like they actually did work on it. It's not just a straight port job. So yeah, like everyone looks different and like higher. Some characters are pretty different actually, but everyone looks like a lot more realistic and like less cartoony, I would say.
Yeah, and that Crucible game from Amazon came out, so you can go play that if you want to. I was gonna watch gameplay and I never got the time because now things have opened up. So I used to have little breaks where like you have a minute or so or 30 seconds or so without calls. Now it's like bang 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 again. So
yep.
I can't even turn around to look at the laptop for a second before I get a call. It's like well, whatever. It is what it is. At least it did say. I'm like so glad I got that that USB Ethernet thing when I first found out I was gonna be working from home because it saved my butt yesterday because my computer just I don't know, it would not load anything and I had to restart it and it takes like 20 minutes for that thing to restart completely and I was like, well, I can either use 20 minutes of work or just use this and it worked pretty good. So glad to know that works.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Well, I'm glad to know also, I mean, we kind of knew it was gonna be, but nice to know that Square Enix gets the major announcement of that Final Fantasy VII Remake is April 2020's highest selling game, and, I mean, it's by, a pretty wide margin. In fact, it is now the fastest selling Final Fantasy game in both unit and dollar sales, surpassing Final Fantasy 15. So,
I mean, that's not hugely surprising, though.
It's not. I mean, but I think it's, like, says a lot about, I mean, right now, everybody's proving Square Enix right about, hey, you made the good choice of making this episodic right now, because they bought, part 1 like crazy, so let's see if it can keep going that way. Of course, it helped a lot that a lot of people were still kind of stuck in their homes for most of April, and that shows in the entirety of spending across video games everywhere, $1.5 billion, a 73% increase when you look at April 2019, and even went over April 2008's $1.2 billion. So it's pretty crazy. I think that they said it was like the year-over-year highest since 2008 as well. It's absolutely insane. And also the fact that the Nintendo Switch is now the highest year-to-date dollar sold of any hardware platform in U.S. history. I mean, and it like beat the Wii, but it's like, it's crazy. Like to think that the Switch is doing that well. We're sitting here talking about everybody's getting ready for next gen. And the Switch, you still can't really find it in a lot of places, and they have games that you can't buy.
You can't find it anywhere. I mean, really. Yeah. I mean,
you could find the Switch Lite for a while.
I've seen that, but I wouldn't want that at all. But I mean, even like stores around here sold out of like Xbox Ones.
Yeah, they said it was the best month for Xbox One in 3 years. And also the best April for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it's just all insane all the way around. If you want to look at the list, I think Just Dance also broke their fastest selling record as well. And Call of Duty Modern Warfare is now the 4th fastest selling release in U.S. tracked history. So it's a lot of records being broken for April. But if you look at the rest of the list, FF7 Remake, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Animal Crossing New Horizons, NBA 2K20, Grand Theft Auto 5, still up there in the top 5. Crazy. Resident Evil 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. It was all the way at the bottom last month. It jumped up all the way to 7th for April. And will be the show, Madden 20, Red Dead Redemption 2, right there in the top 10. Just Dance 2020, FIFA, Mortal Kombat 11, Borderlands 3, Predator Hunting Grounds at 15. That came out towards the end of last month. Persona 5 is still hanging in there at 18, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot all the way down there. Need for Speed Heat made the list. Oh my god, though.
Well, I mean, like, name one other racing game in the past 6 months.
Yeah, I guess you can go buy some Forza Horizon. 4, whatever.
I mean, that's already a better racing game. That's, a year and a half old, I think, or at least a year old.
Yes, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what May tracks like, especially with a lot of the big games coming out at the end of the month. Will we even get to know what Xenoblade and stuff like that really did until we get to July or something like that.
Yeah.
So, as opposed to last week that had a bunch of announcements, this week the only Summer Game Fest thing really was Valorant, is releasing to the public on June 2nd. Of course, that's that free-to-play Riot Games, like 5v5 tactical shooter that's kind of like a mix between Counter-Strike and Overwatch. I watched gameplay of this. It looks cool if you like that thing. I mean, a lot of people are liking it. It's the, big thing on Twitch right now. I don't know if you've watched any gameplay of this at all, or...
No, I have no interest in the games like that, like this free-to-play garbage. Or, I mean, it might be fine, but I have games I want to play that take more precedence.
I am kind of interested in Crucible, but I gotta watch some more gameplay in it of it to see. It's interesting that Amazon finally got their game out there and they're trying to get their MMO or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Out there later this year too. So we'll see how that goes. But cool for Valorant. I guess that's at the beginning of the month. Everybody will get to play it out of the beta. Right. And it'll be even crazier on Twitch than everybody was. We're also speaking of games that are going to be shown soon. Another one of these that I'm sure you're just thrilled about, Mark, because you were never on board with this spacing out of announcements thing.
Yeah, it's still dumb. I mean, you keep bringing this up. I'm like, yeah, they keep putting more and more events out, and I was like, who cares? Like, they're just diluting it more and more.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be crazy, especially June and July already with everything that's announced now, and just out of nowhere, New Game Plus Expo was announced. So, Gamescom is going to be at the end of August. That's going to be kind of like the last thing there. They have that Guerrilla Showcase in June. You have the EA Play thing a little cute few days after. So now on June 23rd, 14 publishers in North America and Japan will join together to showcase 40 games, of course. The nice thing is some publishers you like, Atlas, is going to be showing off something here. You think we might finally get the Persona's Scramble release date for the West there?
They'll have their own event for that, for their own announcement.
I don't know. I mean, when has really Atlas or Sega had their own event? It's been a long time.
I mean, they always have them for Persona 5.
Yeah, but, it's not like we're going to be having any of those concerts soon.
I mean, that doesn't matter at all. Like, who cares? I wasn't talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Persona 5, announcing Royal and stuff, they always have, their own, midnight announcement or whatever.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe there'll be a surprise there. Sega's also going to be there. Axis, Arc System Works, Idea Factory, Inti Creates, Natsume, who's, they're making a new, Harvest Moon, Spike Chunsoft. So all those big Japanese publishers, that are not, named Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah.
NIS America as well in here. So that's pretty interesting that it's a lot of, Japanese publishers for the most part. So that's kind of cool that they get their own event all on June 23rd. So that's going to be basically all day, or I don't know if that's all day or just, they're going to just do it in a 2-hour time span, or I don't know what, but it starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. So there you go. You can just watch that on Twitch all day. And I think that's a Saturday for me. So yeah, I could technically just do that.
There'll be some guy drawing the Persona 5 protagonist for 8 hours.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's a big surprise there, something that we weren't expecting, but who knows? Just cool that they're getting to show off 40 games.
I actually anticipate more probably a Yakuza 7 release date, this will be out in October, something like that.
Yeah, that could be it. I think the only one missing out of all this is Bandai Namco, but they just showed off their game at the Xbox thing, so I don't know how much more they really had to announce. Outside of they released the 2 Dragon Ball games. One Piece just had a game, so I don't know what else that Naruto just had a game, so I don't know what else. One Punch Man. God, I think they all the main ones. I mean, My Hero. So I think all the ones you could really do something on all had a game recently. Ubisoft, speaking of bringing back games, Ubisoft once kind of teased because the creator of Scott Pilgrim, Brantley O'Malley, was on Twitter and kind of said, let's bring back Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which as much of it is known as a really hard game and also has a fantastic soundtrack from Anamanaguchi. It was taken down in 2014 from XBLA and PSN, kind of mysteriously.
Oh, it was a rights issue, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it probably was, but nobody ever really came out and said, okay, this is why, And were you a fan of the game at all, or?
I have it, but I wasn't a huge fan. Because I only played it alone. I'm like, all right, it's a brawler. I made it through the first 2 levels, and I'm like, yeah, I'm okay.
I enjoyed it. I still listen to that soundtrack every now and then. I'd like to see it come back. I have it as well for 360, but yeah, it'd be cool if it did get to come back. Ubisoft developed and published the game, so let's go, Ubisoft. Get it out there.
I'm sure it's not all them. I'm sure, whoever made the film, it's also them.
Well, yeah, it's whoever has that license has to agree to wanting to let the game be out there again, and they got to pay some money too. And Ubisoft's big enough; they could decide to pay that money. I
mean, they could, but so could this guy. If you wanted to really put it out, you could do it.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think. I think Scott Pilgrim just had its anniversary a few days ago. And I know, what's his name? The director, Edgar Wright, and a bunch of the cast was on Twitter talking about it.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a pretty solid movie.
I enjoy the movie. I think I've only watched one other time besides when it came out, but
that movie's real funny now because there are so many actors in it who are in Marvel and DC films.
Right, yeah.
Or Marvel and DC properties. It's half the League of Evil X's are in a Marvel movie or DC movie, and
it's they definitely went on to way better things.
Yeah.
From here. I'm still hoping at some point when we start getting those Disney Plus shows, how those are going to be.
I think those will be fine, but they'll all be delayed now.
Yeah, just like the movies. All that stuff's going to come out way later.
I think Wanda Vision or whatever the hell that show was, I think that's pretty much done. But I know that Captain America or the Falcon show was mid production or something like that.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out next year, I think.
Yeah.
Or later this year or something.
Well, I know Avengers Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending soon. Their 7th season is premiering, and that's their last one.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some rumor that Daisy or Quake's character is going to get some Disney Plus spin-off. There was a rumor about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking wow, taking their most boring character and giving her a spin-off, way to go.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
And she kind of downplayed it. She was like, oh, they haven't called me, but I'd be ready to do it. And I'm thinking, they should call Haley Atwell back for a Agent Carter spin-off. Bring that back instead of a Quake spin-off.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but I don't know. I wonder if she would want to go back at this point to do it.
Yeah.
It's such a seesaw with that thing.
Right. Well, I know she's doing voice work for the character in that What If show, but it's different from doing physical acting.
Yeah, because they're having most of the actors come back for that show, but
yeah, because they can just roll into a recording studio and lay down some lines.
Yep, exactly. It's going to be very interesting how Disney handles that with these shows. Are they going to be quick to axe something that doesn't perform well or whatever? But it's those things are going to be what brings people to keep Disney Plus around, because they really don't have that many original things. And I don't see them spending a ton of money like Netflix for that.
They only have one thing, and that's Mandalorian right now.
Yeah.
And, that was, it's weird that, when it started off, DC and Marvel had a bunch of shows, and, DC still has a bunch of shows, but Marvel doesn't.
Yep. Well, you also can't. DC can't seem to equal what Marvel does in the movies. So,
sure.
It's like they can't win both at this. You know, and Agents of Shield had that thing where it just kept increasingly going weird places.
Yeah.
So, and like DC has a ton of things. So, didn't they just have to delay everything? I guess till like next year. The DC shows. Yeah. Or CW delayed all that stuff.
Well, CW delayed it all. Yeah, like Flash and I think Riverdale and some other stuff got delayed till 2021, which makes sense. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still need to watch the season of Riverdale that hit Netflix.
Oh, isn't that one behind, or is that current?
That's the season 4. Are they on season 5?
I think that's current. Yeah, I think they're on season 4 now, but I couldn't tell you.
I've kind of like got really sad about like Riverdale after
Luke Perry.
Yeah, Luke Perry. So,
yeah,
he was one of like my favorite parts of that. He was one of my favorite actors on that show. So.
He was like the only adult who wasn't like fucked up and evil somehow.
Yeah, he was like the one that didn't have the other interest of like killing the town or something.
Yeah, like, swirling a goblet of wine in some, fireplace or something. It's like,
yeah.
Every other parent either that or some serial killer.
He had good intentions. It's nice to see characters like that sometimes.
You should start watching that Sabrina show.
I've thought about it sometimes, and then I just never do. I'm still like, the only one I'm watching that's sort of out now is that Miss America show, and that's kind of it. And then I just kind of watch other stuff like Chopped or whatever.
All the good hits.
Right now. So yes, well, this was gonna eventually come out because hey, it's Call of Duty. We're gonna find out what the next Call of Duty is, and thanks to Okami, the Call of Duty leaker, and of course Eurogamer. The 2020 installment of Call of Duty is going to be based on the Cold War. So they're going back a little bit to the historical setting that we saw in World War II. And, it'll be interesting what they do with this.
That was pretty much is it just going to be called like Black Ops 4 or 5 or whatever the hell number it's on?
5, right? Because 4 was the... 4
was one that had story. 3 was one that didn't have a story.
So, it's... What do you think? Like, I'm down with it because it means it's a Call of Duty story and it'd probably be good.
Yeah, I've liked some of their stories, but I'd say, personally, I haven't had a great fondness for this generation's Call of Duty games necessarily. Like, I like the ones that people don't like Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, because they were really weird. And, like, the ones that, like, now it just seems like Call of Duty's trying to chase, like, PUBG and, like, Battle Royale games. And it's like
I feel like people liked Advanced Warfare. It's just now looked down upon because of the Kevin Spacey connection. But
oh, sure. But, even at the time, people weren't hugely into, like, it was a good playing game, but they didn't like all the futuristic crap in it.
Oh, Infinite Warfare, I think, is where they kind of just went way too much in that direction, and people just were like, I don't want that.
That game literally had, like, dogfighting in space missions, or like at least one of those. But, like, if you're gonna have a game series that's lasted 13 iterations, it's like, yeah, you just can't keep making, I'd much rather have that than World War II, or, like, the reboot of Modern Warfare. Like, come on.
Yeah, they could have some, like, Vietnam touches in there if they wanted to. They could, I'm sure they'll have some, U.S. doing things against Russia.
Yeah.
I wonder how historical they'll get. Will they be mentioning actual names and things like that, or just allusions?
I think the guy's name was, like, Frank Woods from Black Ops. Will he be back in it?
Yeah, we'll see. Apparently, Warzone also kind of had a tie to this as well. They kind of hinted at it, so... there's some, like, decent things from the Cold War, but a lot of the Cold War was stuff that didn't happen. So...
Right. They have to make up hotspots because the Cold War is literally cold. Like, they weren't fighting. Or, it'll be some epic battle, but then they'll just brush it under the carpet or whatever.
Yeah. They'll try to act like it didn't happen or whatever. Or, hey, we
Yeah.
gotta keep it secret because this could start a real war or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's Call of Duty. It's gonna sell. But I mean, how many settings do they have left they could realistically do?
The War of 1812.
I mean, yeah, we really gotta start going back to those times, and I don't think anybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Or at least it wouldn't work for like a modern shooter.
I mean, that's why Ghost was funny, because Ghost it had a completely fictional, it was like alternate dimension or like alternate history, and it's like, what? Like, this is like kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, terrorists blew up San Francisco, and now you're part of the, like, America's destroyed, and you're like the revenge force, and it's like, alright, I guess.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out more, because this is going to be one of the big games of the fall, like it always is.
Yeah.
And people will still be playing Warzone and Modern Warfare by then, as it is. Well, System Shock 3 has been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
The last time we talked about it, they mentioned that, hey, we're still here, we're still working on it. Then all of a sudden, we find out that Other Side Entertainment basically transferred their license from Night Dive Studios, or the license they received from Night Dive Studios to make sequels to System Shock over to Tencent. So now Tencent's kind of in charge of making sure System Shock 3, I guess, happens and goes along much more swimmingly than it was before. Night Dive Studios is still working on the remake of the first game, which, have we really heard much about that either?
No, I mean, both games have been in huge messes, like, as far as the developmental goes, so at this point, I don't think either of them coming out. And no offense to System Shock 3, but that franchise, like, it's not like that's like a super revered franchise. I mean, the first one had a lot of fans, but those were 20 years ago.
System Shock 2, though.
Yeah, but again, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of reverence for it because it basically, BioShock is very much cut from that same cloth, you know?
Yeah, but then the people who made, System Shock made BioShock. I mean, they were the same developers.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not just some new people taking it over.
Right. But it'd be nice if those games did get to come out, just so that you could see the people that are waiting for those, that are excited about those games.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have that modern version of System Shock 1, because like it's not even playable, right? Like,
no, they re-released System Shock 1 like a few years ago. I reviewed it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were just remastering System Shock 1, like, or like, doing a, complete upgrade or whatever. But it's like, the team developing it, like, they didn't have any history, or they're just like, hey, we can get it. We're, it's cheap enough, and they tried to, like, crowdfund it, and they pissed away all the money on, like, weird crap that no one wanted. They're like, oh, we're gonna, like, fix System Shock 1, and it's like, people were like, what do you mean fix it? Like, make nicer graphics. That's all you needed to do. And then, like, I think the CEO he had to apologize later on, going like, we need more money.
Well, yeah.
We took it in the wrong direction.
Then when it went away, you're going, yeah, probably why.
Yeah.
And
oh no, System Shock 1, the remake it was put on hiatus. That was it.
Oh.
In 2018. Yeah, they paused it because they had no more money.
That's, yeah,
like most good Kickstarter projects, it ends in failure.
Well, yeah, it's sad, but, and I feel like Wonderful 101 came out and it just, no one said much about it.
I mean, most people gave it, like, somewhat positive reviews, except for, like, GameSpot. Like, I don't know, I think he might have been playing PS4, maybe, but, like, the GameSpot review was, like, 4 out of 10. And it's like, wait, what?
Damn, really?
And he said, like, the gameplay was fun, but he had, like, a lot of, like, weird technical issues, and, like, the game, like, just wouldn't run stable. And it's weird because, like, that's the only place I've seen that. Like, most other reviews are around, like, 7 or 8. It's an old game. What can you really do? But, he reviewed it on the Switch, so that's probably why I fucked up.
Oh, well, you chose I guess you always want to play it on the portable system if you can, but you also chose the worst system to pick.
Yeah, he said like the review was like camera issues, technical issues, unclear puzzles, etc.
Things that were originally probably an issue in the game as well. So.
Well, I think I watched the Digital Foundry review, and they said like the Switch version runs like docked mode, it runs okay, but like undocked, it's like, yeah, you're taking your chances.
Yeah, that's true, and you are. But well, hey, Jens is enjoying it, I'm sure.
I don't even think he played it. He's still playing.
Oh wait, well he can't, right? Because his computer can't.
He got a Switch. He got a Steam code. I don't know if he ever used it or not, but like from what I understand, his PC is like 10 years old. I don't think would run it.
So I think he can't. He wouldn't be able to run it at that point. So also, along with that, we have two, bunch of companies announcing that they have games that we'll eventually find out about, including Sony, who teased that they're going to reveal the PS5 game lineup soon, and it's going to be a strong lineup.
So Jumping Flash 2, or 3, I should say, and then that PS2 Firework game, we're finally getting a sequel.
Fantavision is getting a sequel?
One can hope.
I actually like that game.
And the Bouncer 2.
Hey, I'm always down for more Bouncer.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with you want to make more Bouncer. But,
That was like in the era when like Square was just going crazy.
Yes, that was the PS2 launch game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was cool that you had a Square Enix game at that.
I think that might have just been Square. Like, I don't think.
It was still Squaresoft.
Like a year or two later. Yeah.
Yeah, Squaresoft still. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Sony, I mean, it's cool that you wanna. I just feel like these teases, just for the sake of teases, are like dumb.
Now you understand how I feel about all these stupid awards, all these stupid upcoming shows.
Okay, like at least you're showing a game. Like, I mean, as much as we can say about the Inside Xbox thing wasn't great, at least they showed games. Like so. I mean, I know they're gonna have their time. They're gonna show it, and we're all gonna be amazed and everything else. I mean, yes, they just showed off that tech demo for the Unreal 5, which was pretty cool as well. I'm just saying, it's like just show something already. If that's the whole breaking your silence, I don't think you did a great job of breaking your silence.
Right.
If breaking your silence would have been, oh, here's a game that's actually being made.
Or, hey, here's what the thing looks like.
Yeah, here's what the thing looks like. Xbox already showed off theirs. What does it matter if we see what it looks like? It's like, Mike Bithell also hinted, as he's, the DualSense controller is supposed to have the haptic feedback, and it's supposed to be sensing and making you feel things. So apparently you're going to be able to feel the in-game rain and integrate with the Tempest. It's going to be able to integrate with the Tempest engine in some way, so you can have, feel things as you're playing a game. I mean, I think that's one of those things I would have to certainly experience to kind of understand, but I think that's a neat, different way for people to experience a game, I guess.
It already happened. It was a 16-bit era thing called the Interactor. I think that's what it was called.
What, it lets you feel raindrops?
Well, yeah, it was called It was called the Aura Interactor. That was it. And it was this half-baked idea where, and I actually had one as a kid. It was just this vest thing you could strap yourself into, and had a big subwoofer where your chest is, and you plug like your game system into it, and like you're supposed to like feel your punches because of the bass. Like, it was basically reverberating against your chest bone, like your lungs or whatever. It was real dumb. Like this sounds like buzzword nonsense. It's like, oh, you can feel the drops. I'm like, okay, like how does that impact me in a gameplay sense at all? Like,
I mean, maybe it does, and we just don't have that feeling yet for it because we're not holding the controller, we're not knowing what it is. But I'm not saying it's going to be as revolutionary as the Rumble or anything, but
I mean, that's what this Aura Interactor was. It was like the first haptic suit, but it was just like a vest thing you wore. And it was like, this is real ghetto. And like, it was only for like kids like 14 years or younger. Like, an adult couldn't wear it because it was too small.
Mm-hmm.
But, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's neat. Glad that that's going to be in there, but yeah. And, well, not to be outdone, both Take-Two Interactive, of course, that's the parent company of Rockstar and 2K, and the Embracer Group, who apparently went on to announce that they also just have more money in the works to be able to possibly buy more studios. Approximately $166 million for further acquisitions. Like, alright, we're just gonna keep buying studios. But so, Take-Two unveiled that over the next 5 years they're gonna release 93 games, while the Embracer Group also revealed that they have 118 games in development, with 69 of them unannounced. That's a lot of games.
Okay, I could see Embracer doing this because they're the ones who've been buying up studios like left and right over the past 2 years. They're like THQ Nordic and all that crap.
Yeah.
I don't see Take-Two doing this because it's like, you guys don't make that many games.
Well, they have that whole private division thing now, which is where, Outer Worlds came from. Doesn't Grounded also come from there? That's the Obsidian thing. Or is that their first Xbox thing?
That'd be Xbox, because Xbox Microsoft owns Obsidian, so.
Well, but Obsidian, who did Obsidian did Outer Worlds?
No, Private Division did Outer Worlds.
Right. But Obsidian was part of, they were doing a Private Division game first, and then they headed over to...
Yeah, they're doing Grounded, but it's,
right. That's their first Xbox thing, right?
Yeah, it's published by Xbox, so.
Okay. Right.
I mean, Take-Two owns 2K, so they make all the sports games.
Yeah, so they have the newly announced NFL arcade games.
But it's not like, it's not going to go like, hey, Rockstar's coming out with 6 games this year, and, our, Civilization guys for Axis, that kind of, 6 games. So it's like, no, they come out with like 1 game a year, if that.
Well, so they broke it down, these 93 titles over 5 years. And they broke it down to 63 core experiences, 17 mid-core games, and 12 casual arcade titles. I mean, these are really vague nomenclatures, but...
I mean, you can say they say an industry over 5 years. They can round that up basically to say 100 per year, or 100 per 5 years. Yeah. That's 20 games per year. And then by year, that metric, it's like basically like 10 to 15 quote-unquote real games, 3 to 5, like 2 or 3 smaller games, and then like 1 or 2 budget games, casual games.
Well, I mean, you got the NBA 2K. I mean, whenever WWE's making their game.
I would count those as like the real games. I mean, honestly.
Right.
Maybe not that WWE kitty game they're making this year, or like that. That's like a lower budget game, obviously.
But that's still part of that.
Yeah.
Portfolio, whatever.
But yeah, like, NBA 2K is obviously one of the big games, or like, whatever football game they end up making will probably be decently big. But, Take-Two has never made a ton of games per year. Like, that's kind of the weird thing. It's like, like I said, like Firaxis and, Rockstar make like 1 or 2 games a year, maybe. And that's about it.
And they have the Hangar 13, which just, finished, or is basically almost done with the Mafia remake.
Well, they're already out.
Well, 2 of them. The Mafia remake's not out yet. That comes out August 28th, I think it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought on Steam, I thought it was already out, but...
No, the second and third are out.
Okay.
Alright. So the 2 big from Private Division that are left are Disintegration and Kerbal Space Program 2. Which,
yeah, but that got delayed till next year.
Kerbal Space Program got delayed to 2021, which it's a result of COVID. That doesn't surprise anything, so now it's not coming out till fall 2021.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out between, like, now and March 2021, so they basically just want to make it the best they can be, and that's, when that first one came out, it was one of the, like, those pretty well-received indie games, so I'm excited for 2 to come out.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, so, remember there was a rumor going around that perhaps they were going to have Rockstar work on some smaller experiences.
I mean, they have done smaller games. Like Rockstar Table Tennis. Or, they used to make other games besides just fucking GTA and, like, Red Dead. I mean, they used to make, like, Midnight, or, was it Midnight Club? Or they made, like, some, like, Smuggler's Run. That's what they made. Or even, like, The Warriors would technically be, like, a smaller game.
Right, yeah.
But they just don't do that anymore. I mean, they did do Midnight Club. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they
could do stuff, but, all they want to do now is big crap.
Yep. Well, I mean, I feel like that's the thing is, I wonder are they including studios that maybe, weren't really doing a whole lot before, now they're making games? Is Firaxis making it more than one game a year now, or are we making, they did say they were trying to make multiple arcade games at once, so.
Yeah. I mean, Firaxis is another good example. Like, they used to make a lot more games than they do now. Than they do now. Like, back in the day, studios used to make more than one game a year, or,
Well, yeah, it costs so much to make a game now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in the past 4 years, Firaxis has made XCOM 2, Civ 6, and XCOM Chimera Squad, which is, basically an expansion pack to XCOM 2.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and then you got Cat Daddy Games that does all the mobile stuff.
Right. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, they're counting it, but yes. I mean, they do have some here that, they're kind of they're working on stuff. Like Cloud Chambers working on that Untitled Bioshock game that we don't know much about.
I'm more curious about Ghost Story, the Ken Levine company, but they've been silent for years.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, Hangar 13's been the Mafia company.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting where these games are going to come from. How many of them are going to be original, or are we just going to get, various other franchise remasters and things like that coming out?
Is the Ubisoft thing in the list also?
Which Ubisoft thing?
That they're supposed to come out with 5 AAA games this year.
Oh, no, that was, I think, between this year and next year.
It's fiscal year, so between now and March.
But that was, we kind of knew what those were, right? Watch Dogs Legion, The Gods and Monsters, Assassin's Creed, what's that other game? Well, we know it won't be Wild or Beyond Good and Evil 2, but I think there's another game that I can't.
There's their pirate game.
Skull and Bones.
But I think a lot of those. No, I think
Just Dance.
Well, that doesn't count.
Do they not count that?
They shouldn't. Let's say that. But it's they've gone so dark on Watch Dogs. It's scary.
Yeah, I feel like they're just waiting to unveil more on it, and then the Vision, whatever.
Well, they'll probably just have an expansion pack for that. They're not going to come out with a new game, at least not for a while.
And something else for Breakpoint.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But, it's just Watch Dogs. They've shown more of Valhalla recently than Watch Dogs. And it's Watch Dogs is supposed to be out. It's not that was supposed to be this year. That was supposed to be March. What happened?
I wonder if they're just going to put that out and hope people just kind of flock to it or something. Like a lot of their other games. Like we said before, Embracer Group they just keep buying studios, and they're doing the what is it that remake they're doing? All Mutants or whatever.
Destroy All Humans?
No, Destroy All Humans, yes, that.
Yeah. I think Jens is really big into that franchise. I played it once.
Yeah, he likes that a lot.
Whatever. But they're releasing some $400 special edition. I'm good luck with that.
Yeah, you have fun with that. You wanna...
It's I don't mind a special edition. The Last of Us 2 special edition's $200. And it's yeah, that game's good. It'll sell instantly. Or, Final Fantasy VII, like that special edition, like $200. It's like, yeah, if I had the money, I would have bought that. But a $400 special edition for Destroy All Humans or Darksiders 3, it's like, who's buying this? Like, why did you make it in the first place?
No idea, but
I've seen that Darksiders special edition for like $40 at a GameStop, discounted for like $150 because they're just trying to get it the hell out of the store at this point. And it's like, yeah, at that point, why not just put it outside the bin, the trash bin?
I guess if you were a huge Darksiders fan, you're buying it, but I don't.
That's literally no one. Yeah. And I say that somewhat as a fan of the franchise. It's like, no one's buying this. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever wondered if there was going to be a chance you could keep up with a lot of the big games, Take-Two and Embracer Group are really trying to put a pin in that one with everything coming up. So also, if I can get back to it here, there's going to be one of the big franchises, or two of the big franchises that Embracer Group, touts outside of Darksiders. And there's been rumors back and forth of Time Splitters is supposed to be being worked on, or the remake of something with Time Splitters. But there won't be a new Saints Row or Dead Island for a while.
I kind of expected this from Saints Row. Like, I want there to be a new one, but I want them to take their time with it. Because their last game was not good.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. No.
Yeah, the Agents of Mayhem thing. It's like, nope. Sorry. I fear Dead Island is a lost cause. It's been so long, and that, it's gone through at least 3 or 4 developers. It's like, even if that game is great, I don't think they're going to make their money back at this point.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I feel like they're going to do it just to see if they can spike people's interest in it again.
Well, it's funny how Dead Island 2 and Dying Light 2 are having development problems. And it's like, you think the people who were making Dying Light 2 could have seen what happened to Dead Light 2 or Dead Island 2 and go, let's not do that. And they just did it anyway.
I mean, also know that Dying Light 1 did very well. You don't have to sit there and add so much to it.
Yeah, like Dying Light 2, like, they showed a few trailers, and I'm like, this doesn't even look like Dying Light anymore. Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah,
this looks like so alien, like so different. It's like, why even call it Dying Light? Like, they didn't even show zombies in the trailer. Like, they did like the very end. And it's like, what? Like, this is super weird.
Well, Square Enix kind of got involved there. But, no, I get it. They were trying to, like, sort of say, okay, here's what's next for that, but maybe they did a bit too much.
Yeah.
And it hurt them there, right?
I mean, I want more Saints Row. I mean, personally. That's when I
feel like
about.
You need, another kind of GTA around besides just GTA.
Well, you need like a fun GTA. Like, GTA is not fun anymore, really.
It's, like, very serious.
Yeah, or serious to a fault. I mean, the characters in Saints Row are, like, literally clowning on each other, but it's, they have a bunch of, like, weird and stupid weapons, and, you get overpowered so quickly in the game that you basically can't die.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in, like, GTA, like, if you get even 1 star, you're like, oh crap, now I gotta lose the cops, and it's, a 10-minute long adventure or something. It's like, no. This is not fun. Do you think they'll reboot Saints Row, though? Like, just kind of wipe it clean? Because, like, Saints Row 4 is, like, it ends on such a crazy note.
Yeah, they could. I could see them doing that. Just say, okay, let's just start with Saints Row.
Yeah. Well, did you finish Saints Row 4 or no?
No.
It literally ends with the Earth destroyed. You're like the head of an alien empire, and you also have, like, a time machine.
What the? Wow.
And, like, the narrator is, I think, Jane Austen. And I was like, what is going on?
What is happening right now?
So that's what I mean by, like, Saints Row 4 is, like, crazy. So it's like, they kind of have to reboot it because there's no more Earth.
Yeah, no, sure. Well, I can see them doing that just to want to give it new life and not alienate a fan base. Just be like, okay, here's Saints Row, here's the stuff you remember, but this is also kind of like, you don't need to know stuff from the other games.
Here's Keith David, he's the one you want.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's what everybody wants there. So, this is the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man. one of the iconic, when you think about video games, Pac-Man is one of the first, usually, in almost anyone's mind. In fact, I think when they were talking about games that people wanted to be made in movies, people said Pac-Man for some reason. Probably just because they know of Pac-Man, not really because it'd make a great video game movie or anything. But
you take that back.
I mean, I guess you got enough of that in Pixel, sort of.
Well, you also get that in, what is it? The Pac-Man cartoon show.
Yeah, or Wreck-It Ralph. You get some arcade misses in there as well. But, so Twitch and Amazon kind of celebrated with a thing called Pac-Man Live Studio, which Bandai Namco also, of course, owning the license, has a hand in there. They made a free version of the game that you can play literally on a Twitch stream. It's called Pac-Man Live Studio, and you can have 4 players compete. And also, it's like, you can also make your own mazes and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Cool that exists. There's also a Pac-Man Minecraft DLC, that basically has 3D mazes and all that. That's pretty cool that we're still getting Pac-Man stuff in this day and age. So, yeah, kind of made me want to play the Minecraft one.
Same.
Yeah, with Dungeons coming out in a few days, why not? Right?
I like the story that when, like, the Japanese name of Pac-Man is Puck-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
And they were going to bring it to America, like the Midway guy was like, you may want to change that.
They're going to think it's hockey.
No, it was more like people will cross out part of the P.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Change this, please, before it goes into production.
Well, with that being said, I figured it would be appropriate since it is the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man, and when you think about arcade games, Pac-Man is usually one of the first ones that comes up. And, I mean, it is a great game in its own right. Just go through some of our favorite, arcade games, or I guess best arcade games for us. I mean, obviously we can't, there's so many, and then, even now, today, with the Dave & Buster's and other arcades that are out there, there's still games that come out, to arcades today, so, but thinking about that, I guess golden era of arcades before, things really became about the console.
Before the mid-90s?
Yeah, 80s to maybe, mid-90s. I don't know, what are some of your ones that you spent a lot of time?
I mean, for me, I was typically more pinball oriented, but the three I always remember playing are Simpsons, Turtles, and X-Men.
X-Men? Yeah.
Yeah. Did a little a few sports games like Arch Rivals. I was into the fighting games. I remember playing Marvel vs. Capcom, or X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter, it was like an event every time.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat was also like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Both of them were, you'd go and there was always people crowded around. It was you want to see who's doing great, who's playing with this guy. And it's who's going to play with the weird character, like Daislum or E Honda or something.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always wanted to be Ryu or Ken or Zangief or something, because he had the, cheap, wrestling moves. But, yeah, I mean, and Mortal Kombat, of course, with the fatalities and everything. I like looking at a poster. It's ridiculous, but it's so spot on for Mortal Kombat, really. Of Raiden and, is that Kane?
Kano.
Or Kano pulling the 2 kids into the machine itself.
Yeah.
I love it. I think, for me, NBA Jam was huge, playing at the arcade. NFL Blitz, I played NFL Blitz so much, growing up. And then, of course, my dad liked to go to these, places to eat that were kind of fancy. And a lot of times they'd have these, arcade machines, with Pac-Man and, Galaga, Space Invaders. And my favorite was, I don't know why. I really don't know why. But Dig Dug was always an arcade game for me that I gravitated to. I played it a lot more in the collection, when they had those Ben and Namco collection things, but yeah.
Yeah. NFL Blitz is always pretty good. I think, like, you ever hear the story about Jeff Gerstmann in Blitz?
No, what?
This was, like, back in the day, he won a Blitz tournament that, like, Midway was putting on, and he won a Blitz cabinet that he,
Nice.
still owns 20 years later.
Oh, yeah, like he loves owning all that old stuff, so.
Yeah. I played some games like Arkanoid, I remember that. Like, basically Breakout, but slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I remember, like, more about pinball, though, really. Because, like, the arcades I used to go to, they had, like, it was, like, a dark room with 20 pinball machines, and, like, the arcade stuff was kind of in the back, along with, like, a few pool tables.
One that I used to play with my dad a lot was that, like, Golden Tee-Off.
Yeah, Golden Tee.
Because it had the roller thing, so you could make it look like you actually did something with hitting the ball. It's like, it just had that, like, cool feeling of, man, I'm really, like, I'm really swinging,
right.
for being an arcade game. My dad, like, he's not a gamer at all, he'll play those, like, Tetris-based things, like, the pick threes and that kind of thing. But that was one that he would sit there and play. I was like, okay, I'll play with you. Cool.
Yeah. Well, arcade games are generally easier than a console game.
Right.
And they also provide, like, a little more, like, this is how you play, like, a little card on the cabinet or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was some hard, Donkey Kong, and some of those did eventually get hard,
No, like, it's funny because Donkey Kong, I think Donkey Kong's pretty easy, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like, Donkey Kong Jr. is a bitch because the physics in that game are so weird.
One for me, too, was also Time Crisis.
Oh, yeah.
I loved doing the thing where you step on the pedal, step off the pedal, and the like, story stuff was so corny. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, my old college, back in the day when I was going there, like, the first year they actually had, like, a very small little arcade in, like, the student, basically, like, student complex. So they had, like, 10 or 12 arcade machines and, like, one pinball machine. And they had a Tekken 3 machine accidentally set on free play. And I thought, even set on free play, my time is more valuable than playing this game.
Damn. Just take
I just don't like Tekken. I don't like Tekken at all. Like, I'm kind of curious about the last one, Tekken 7, but, that's about it.
I played Hydro Thunder a lot in the
Oh yeah, I played that a lot. So, Cyber Sled was cool, Crazy Taxi was cool.
Yes, Crazy Taxi.
You ever play Arctic Thunder?
Yes, Arctic Thunder, the frickin' ATV, version of Hydro Thunder base.
Had like a small, like, blower fan directed at you at all times.
Yeah. It made you feel like you're cold.
See, it's nice. I mean, this place is maybe like an hour away, but there's an arcade by me where it's basically like pay $20 to get in and that's it. And they have like a really great selection of old games and new games. And they're all set on free play. Like, they have fucking Dragon's Lair, like the arcade machine, and I played it for 5 minutes and I'm like, nope, I don't want to play this. Then I sat there for an hour.
Wasn't there, a Mega Man thing? Cause I remember playing a Mega Man, like, arcade.
It's called Mega Man Power Fighter, or Power Battle, I think.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, there's maybe 2 of them. And they're like weird, like Mega Man, like, they're not quite fighting games, they're kind of like boss games or something, but they're like really kind of simple, but fun.
Yeah, I remember playing that, and the Avengers.
Yep.
Like, beat 'em up thing that didn't get as much, pub as the other, like, the big 3 that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, I actually finished the Simpsons arcade machine like a year and a half ago at that arcade. I was like, yeah, I have 30 credits or whatever. I can just keep pressing X.
I think that's the arcade game I've probably beaten the most, is the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Arcade game.
I have all that crap on Xbox 360 also.
Yeah. House of the Dead was also like one of the ones that my sister would play that a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I loved, it would scare the crap out of her, but it was fun still.
It's no typing of the dead.
Gauntlet was also one that I have fond memories, playing. Of course, the thing yelling at you, somebody needs food because it would constantly go down.
Yeah,
all the time, so you'd have to spend quarters in it.
Yeah, again, why this arcade is nice is you can just keep pressing the button to get more money or, to get more credits in.
One of my favorite ones, I think, was Metal Slug as well, which kind of started my love for Metal Slug games.
I never really was able to play much Neo Geo stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't say that stuff till way later. But having a Neo Geo arcade machine would be cool as hell.
Yeah, it would be. Well, they had that Neo Geo collection or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. Not when you...
I'll go on.
Did you ever play that, before they had Guitar Hero, they had the Guitar Freaks?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I saw a Rock Band arcade cabinet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had one of those.
Now I think this was custom made, and I say that loosely, because they just stuffed a Xbox 360 into an arcade cabinet, and they let you play it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, the Guitar Hero one made sense. I never understood how they could do Rock Band in an arcade.
I've seen that, and this was pretty recent actually, I saw a Crash Bandicoot remastered arcade cabinet. I was like,
really?
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I even took a picture. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? And it's some custom cabinet where someone made Crash Bandicoot into an arcade machine. Ever hear of, I saw this recently, a Play Choice 10.
I feel like I've heard it before, but I've never seen it.
So it's an arcade machine with 10 NES games built into it. And you there's a button or switch that you press to switch between games.
Okay.
And they're not the official, they're not regular NES cartridges, they're special arcade versions or something. But yeah, it's an arcade machine with just 10 NES games built into it. And I was like, this is cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I'm probably sure we've forgotten a bunch of them, but I remember my ex-stepmom, anytime there was a Galaga somewhere, she had to play it. That was her game. Centipede was also one that it's a game I have for the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I remember that crappy version. I used to Paperboy back in the day.
Oh yeah. I think I played that one on the Genesis. One of the few things my friend had. Pole Position too was one that I wouldn't last for long. I'd die really quickly. I could never turn I didn't play this in the arcades, but I loved Burger Time on the NES.
Oh yeah.
That was...
I've seen the, I think I only played it once or twice, but I've played the, Wreck-It Ralph, or the, whatever the hell the name of the game is. There's an arcade cabinet for real.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool.
Agreed. I think still probably my favorite is the X-Men.
Yeah. Well, they had the had the 2-player one and the big 6-player one.
Yeah. That was cool when you could finally get the all 6 players
yeah, which happened once a year.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to be one character. It's no, you get to be Dazzler. It's great. Thanks.
No, I liked Jubilee. I think that made me actually care about Jubilee. Yeah. And made me care about who Jubilee was.
No, that was based on that was based on an X-Men cartoon that never came out. It wasn't based on the Fox one. It was one that came out a year or two. But so it's you get Cyclops, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Dazzler, and one other character I think as well.
Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm. Yeah. And I think I fell in love with Nightcrawler was my favorite X-Men because of that game. I was always him most of the time. So some of the choice lines of die to magnet and crap like that. Yeah. It was a 90s game.
And that unlike the Turtles games, that never came to console until the 360.
Mm-hmm. It would have been cool to have back then. Of course, there were still the final fights and all those too, but I felt those, I guess, when we were growing up was a bigger thing. And of course the driving games as well, the Daytona game and Mario Kart eventually got
I played that a few times. Yeah, that's okay.
And of course Dance Dance, who hasn't burned at least once.
I don't, because I can't dance, and now I can't physically do it.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, I remember at a putt-putt doing it a few times and sucking really badly, but it was when you were kids, that was the thing, you found that person that could do it really well, oh my god, you know?
Yeah.
So, I remember Soul Calibur as well, or Soul, is the
Soul
first
Edge.
Soul Calibur, or Soul Edge was,
Yep.
yeah, that's why I liked that series for a while, because I could play that in the arcades. So yeah, I mean, that's one of those, like, there's so many we could, sit here for another.
Yeah, but like past 2000, it really dries up because like here's the 18th version of DDR, and See, I don't like modern arcade machines right now, like personally.
Yeah, I mean, like I think Pod Racer was one of the last few that was like
that was cool because like
when that came out,
it looked cool and like it controlled differently. Like you had the two levers and it was like a lot like the movie. But now you have stuff like you mentioned Dave and Buster's. It's like they have the big Pac-Man thing, or like they have the big Space Invaders,
yeah,
thing, and it's like, I mean, I guess, but this isn't different, or it's not like, it's not new, it's just, in a different shell.
Yeah, like they had, was it House of the Dead 4, and like they got the Mario Kart thing, and
yeah,
they had a new, like Madden is there now as an arcade game, which is weird.
Yeah,
but
I've seen, that Injustice. I think Injustice 2, they made that mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
They made that into an arcade machine.
Really?
So it's not Injustice 2, like the fighting game. It's like Injustice 2, the mobile game. So there's buttons. It's just like attack, special attack, and block. There's no like joystick, and it's like,
I guess because it was easier to.
Maybe, but it's like, why wouldn't you just make a custom cabinet and stick a PS4 into it? Like,
yeah, I guess.
Have you ever played or ever seen the real Pong machine?
No.
There's like this like magnetic Pong machine where it's like, it's trippy. It's like you playing Pong, but it's made of physical crap. Like, the little ball is bouncing around, like you and your friend or you and your partner have like, the actual paddles. And it's like, this is weird. Like, this is cool as hell. Costs like $20,000 though.
Well, anything else you wanna?
They should re-release those old Konami arcade machines or arcade games.
I'm surprised Konami has not tried to make some.
So it's rights issues. Like, that's what happened with Turtles in Time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because I think at the time, pardon the pun, Ubisoft owned the license, and that's why, like, they didn't have, like, the original book of the game. It was, like, that remastered thing. And it's like, this looks terrible. Like, if you're gonna do this, at least put in the option to go back to the old stuff, but they didn't do it.
Yeah. My favorite beat 'em ups of all time.
That's ultimately why we're never going to get GoldenEye remaster, even though, like, I think it was done for the 360.
Or, like, if they even have, like, the original source code or whatever. Like,
No, I mean, like, no, they made GoldenEye for the 360. Like, it was done.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But they just couldn't get it to, it's 4 different companies, at least. And so they're just like, fuck it, we'll just, Perfect Dark, we own that. No license for that, so we'll just do it.
Yep, don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there is quite a few, as I mentioned, games coming in this week coming up. It seems like everybody kind of waited till the end to release their game. Xenoblade, of course, Definitive Edition is probably the, I guess, biggest of those coming that, all of us that are on the pod are waiting for.
Yeah.
Phantasy Star Online 2 comes to PC. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, the remaster, may finally come out on the end of May. All those Switch releases of Borderlands, the Borderlands Collection, XCOM 2, BioShock Collection, all coming. As well, Minecraft Dungeons is coming then as well. Synaptic Drive is coming, which is like a 3D shooter. The Shantae game, Shantae and the Seven Sirens is coming. Uchu Romano, The Prelude, which is like even that Elder Scrolls Online, the new Elder Scrolls Online. And, people are still playing that, right?
I've actually heard, like, I mean, I think, like, the top MMO still is probably WoW, and number 2 is probably Final Fantasy 14.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Elder Scrolls is up there. It's probably, like, number 3 or 4, I would have to say.
Yeah, especially after they made it free to play.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I think Guild Wars is probably the only other one, really.
Yeah, the Guild Wars is still kind of hanging around. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that you could take your pick. Quite a few things coming out at the end of this last week of May. So if you've been saving, you have some things to pick from. And if not, you can wait a little longer and get Rocket Rages 3, Make and Break.
Everyone's waiting for that.
Hey, that's exactly what everybody's waiting. Yeah.
The first one of those was fine, but they didn't need to make a second one, and they really didn't need to make a third one.
Yeah, it was kind of okay on Connect. Like, that was like one of those games that was kind of like alright for Connect, you know?
Okay. I didn't even know it came to Connect.
Yeah, it did. And then, also the Outer Worlds comes to Switch. That 55 Worldwide Classics, which I know you're kind of interested in.
Yeah, the big board game thing.
Yep.
There's you ever play Tabletop Simulator on Steam?
I've not.
I mean, that is basically the same thing. It's like, oh, here's a bunch of tabletop games, like board games. But there's no AI.
Also, you're playing yourself?
Well, I think you're supposed to, like, rope other people into playing it, but also there's, like, it's weirdly, like, physics-based. Like, there's, like, a button in the, like, on your keyboard that's, like, flip over table. And it's like, what? Like, why is this in here? Like, who would make that? So, like, they're like, oh, we can't put in computer AI because the physics simulation is too intense. And I'm going, like, I don't need to be a physics simulation. I just want a computer to play Sorry against with. Like, what the hell is the problem with that?
I don't know. They want to make it more complicated than it really should be.
Yeah, apparently.
Not necessary sometimes, folks. Just give people what they want. It's alright.
Yeah, I'm playing, today I was playing Microsoft Jigsaw puzzle, the Jigsaw game on Windows, so I was that bored. Hey, I'm almost finished with this Ori and the Blind Forest puzzle, so watch out.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to play. I don't know how you could be tired yet.
Yeah.
But alright, I think that's gonna do it for us here. If you like what you heard, appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button to know whenever we come out there on your feeds. You can go check out our Final Fantasy VII Remake spoiler cast that Jens and Randy joined us on. Of course, we do 2 shows a week, so we'll be back on Tuesday with another show. We'll see if something's happened over the weekend. And then you can also review us right there on your whatever podcast app you use, or go to the trusty old Apple, which I guess apparently count more than the other ones. I don't know how that works. Or you could go rate us on Spotify, where we can try to compete against Joe Rogan and his big old exclusivity deal that he now has.
Don't worry, our deal's coming.
Yeah, our deal is definitely coming. And rest in peace, Hannah. You did not deserve to go through what you did. But all right, we'll see you next time.
Later,
everybody.